There are moments in life when we feel the weight of the world bearing down on us, so heavy that even breathing seems like a burden. There are times when we look at the horizon, and no light is visible, no glimmer of hope, no sign of change. These are the moments when everything seems lost, when we feel utterly defeated, and when hope, the one thing we thought would never leave us, has vanished. But I want you to hear this: you are not lost, and your story is not over. When all hope is lost, the most important thing to remember is that hope is not something outside of you, it is something within you. It is not tied to circumstances, people, or situations. It is a deep well inside your soul, and even when it feels like it's run dry, the potential for it to spring forth again is always there. Let's talk about what happens when hope disappears. When the situation feels beyond saving, when every door seems closed, and when every attempt to rise above the circumstances is met with failure, these are the moments that test our very core. These are the moments that tell us who we really are. In times of despair, it is natural to want to give up. It is human to feel broken, defeated, and alone. But in those very moments, when you're standing at the edge, you have a choice to surrender to the darkness, or a choice to fight back. So, how do we fight when we've lost hope? How do we keep going when everything inside us is telling us to stop? The answer lies in one simple truth: you are stronger than you think. You are capable of far more than you believe. The human spirit is resilient, and it is in the face of adversity that it shines the brightest. Think of the greatest figures in history, the heroes we admire, the leaders we follow, the survivors who inspire us. They are not people who never faced hardship. They are not people who lived perfect lives. On the contrary, they are people who faced unimaginable difficulties, moments of despair, and times when hope seemed like a distant dream. But what set them apart? It was their decision to keep going when all hope seemed lost. Let's take a moment to reflect on a story that embodies this spirit. Think about Thomas Edison. This man, who invented the light bulb, failed over 1,000 times before he succeeded. Can you imagine that? 1,000 failures. 1,000 times when anyone else might have thrown in the towel. But Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He never let failure define him. He never let the absence of immediate success convince him that he was done. He saw each setback as a step closer to his ultimate goal. That's what hope really is. It's not a guarantee of success. It's the courage to keep going when success seems impossible. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing failure as part of the journey. Because when all hope is lost, what you are left with is an opportunity. The opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. Now, you may be thinking, it's easy to talk about hope when you're not in the middle of the storm. And you're right. When you're in the thick of it, when you're facing the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, the death of a loved one, or a personal defeat so painful it feels like it's breaking you in two, words about hope can feel hollow. But I want you to understand that every storm, no matter how violent, passes. Every dark night eventually gives way to dawn. The same is true in your life. No matter how bleak things seem right now, they will get better. The key is to hold on, even when it feels impossible. When all hope is lost, this is when you must dig deep and find your inner strength. It's when you must rely on something greater than the circumstances around you, something greater than yourself. This is the time to tap into your faith, your determination, and your resolve. This is the time to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? How can I use this experience to become a better version of myself? I won't pretend that this is easy. It's not. Finding hope in the middle of despair is one of the hardest things a person can do. But it's also one of the most powerful. Because when you come through the other side of that darkness, you emerge as someone who cannot be easily shaken. You become someone who has faced the worst and come out stronger for it. And remember this, you are not alone. No matter what you are going through, someone, somewhere, has faced something similar and made it through. They have found the strength to keep going, and so can you. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. Seek out those who have faced adversity and triumphed. Their stories will remind you that hope is always possible, even in the darkest of times. Finally, let me leave you with this thought. When all hope is lost, it is because you are on the verge of something new. Often, the most profound transformations happen in the midst of despair. When your old life crumbles, it makes room for a new one to be built. It is in the ashes of what once was that the seeds of new beginnings are sown. Do not fear this process. Embrace it. Know that the pain, the struggle, and the loss you feel today are laying the foundation for your future victories. So, if you are in that place where hope seems lost, remember that it is not the end. It is simply the beginning of a new chapter. Trust in the process, trust in your strength, and trust that no matter how dark it gets, the light will come again. You may have lost hope, but hope has not lost you. When all hope is lost, that is the time to rise. That is the time to fight. And that is the time to believe in the impossible. Because you are capable of far more than you can imagine. Never forget that.